I don't know how much value I have in this universe, but I do know that I made a few people happier than they would have been without me. And as long as I know that, I'm as rich as I ever need to be.
Hey kid, what time is that?
It's time to refresh.
Back once again with another podcast. This is episode 81 of the It's Time to Refresh podcast. On this one, we've got DJ Angel.
Hello.
How are we doing? All right?
I'm alright, thank you.
Not going to say she's nervous, but she's a little bit nervous about coming on. We're at Jen and Rome's today in Warrington, sunny Warrington. And we've got a story of, is it the 20 years of...
Next year will be 20 years of me DJing.
So it's a big 20-year little back catalogue of stuff we get to go through. I've got loads of questions, so we'll just get straight into it. What did you have for tea last night?
Well, I had spaghetti bolognese, but I've not been eating beef for a while, so I thought I'd treat myself. So spaghetti bolognese, yeah. I kind of not eat red meat, so...
You've watched previous episodes, you must have, because you knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Last night I had... Let me think. I'm so bad at this. My mind's gone blank. Oh no, I went for a
Takeaway?
Brewers Fair. No, it was Brewers
nice.
Fair. It was all right.
Did you get a discount?
Yeah, obviously you don't go otherwise, do you?
No.
It's like 40% on mains or something like
Was
that.
it discount,
She was saying, "Oh, we'll go out and get some to eat. Just a nice easy Friday." And I was like, "All right then, no worries, we'll do that."
Okay.
So as I do with everyone, go right back to the beginning, and basically, who's DJ Angel and where you're from?
I'm from Southport, sunny Southport, seaside town.
Yeah.
From the moment I was born, I was always listening to music. My mum used to always have the radio on, playing records all the time. So, yeah,
Excellent.
very music minded.
So what was the music that you heard early doors?
When I was 8 years old, 1995.
Right.
Show me age now. My mum bought me Entrance Set You Free tape. I was absolutely buzzing. I used to absolutely love Kelly Lorena. I used to watch her Top of the Pops, so I was buzzing with that tape. So that's probably the first time I ever heard dance music. So. And
was it what caught your eye about it? Was it the sort of the synths, or was it the big vocals? Because that's a massive vocal track.
I think vocals and pianos did it for me. Yeah.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
Excellent. And then that was obviously your first exposure. Did you know what the rave scene or anything like that was?
I went to when I was about 12. I went to a teen scene back then. So they had what was it? Better Off Alone, things like that playing. Mambo Number 5, Saturday Night, and all that. So,
yeah. So more the music that you're into.
So that was a rave for me back then. Yeah.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. So, what was your first sort of exposure to what we would call sort of
bounce music?
No, not even bounce.
No.
Just your first sort of entry into club music.
I used to listen to quite a lot of hardcore as well, Bonkers, Sammy Vinyl, Helter Skelter. I used to have tape packs and that.
Yeah.
But club scene, what do you mean
anything at all, any sort of club music? What was the first sort of could have been maybe house music? Well, Bonkers was obviously we'll call club music and stuff. But where was your sort of first exposure to it? So you had the record that your mum showed you, but where was the first hub of a record shop, or was there a first club you went to and the music was on? You're this sounds like Kelly Lorena.
Like I said, the teen scene maybe quite ravey then. I can't think about club. I don't know if we're going into the DJ bit now. Record shop. I used to work in a record shop for about 2 months. Yeah, with it used to be Brownie PMB shop.
Yeah.
In Charlotte, it used to be called Ultimate Sound. So I worked in there.
Excellent.
But the bounce music when it first come in, I can't think. I think it's Wigan Pier.
Was that your sort of first exposure to it?
Yeah.
Excellent. So when you were going to these teen raves, who was the DJs there? Do you know? Or was it just we just going there for a good time?
Fat Baz Todd, he was called. He used to do Rock FM in Southport, yeah.
Southport's was quite a big hub for fall raves back in the day as well.
It used to be called the Coliseum. It used to be called Manhattan years ago. I don't know if you remember that.
No.
It was quite big back then, years ago.
Because Southport, they used to do they used to do weekenders and that. I'm not just
Yeah.
saying for like
Pontins weekenders.
yeah, like Pontins weekenders. So whether it's like I don't know, like Motown and soul, and like obviously the Tidy Weekender went there for a bit. Loads of, like hard house and stuff like that. Am I right in thinking Clubland was there as well?
Yeah,
wasn't it? We'll get
Clubland.
into that though, because I know you did that as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, you're quite central to what I would call like sort of like the northern rave scene. Like
Yeah.
where I am, it's proper out the way.
Yeah.
You get the odd bits and bobs, but because you're not like in the Wigan area
No.
or you're not in the Blackburn, your Burnleys are out like that. It's not like central, but there's still a lot
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So good like exposure to it, sort of thing.
Definitely, yeah.
So growing up in your teens, where was like the sort of first rave, or who did you know? Did you have a friend or out like that who was like, you should listen to this music? And do you know?
To be fair, I'm into all kinds of music. Like there was hardcore, obviously, house music, drum and bass. But like getting into DJing, my influence was like Lisa Lashes.
Right.
So like for me, being young, like because I'm always around music all the time, I wanted to be a DJ. I remember like after school we used to go to our friend's house and we used to have like Technic 1210s.
Right.
And I was like, I want to do that. But being
How old was this?
oh god, so left school in 2003.
Right.
Yeah, so I was always like, oh, I want to do that. And I'd seen Lisa Lashes, and I used to get that Extreme Foria CDs.
Yeah.
I used to get them all the time. I thought, I really want to be a DJ. I want to get into this. But being female back then, it was quite male dominant, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, do I get into it? But when I worked in the record shop for Brownie, I got my own Technic 1210, still got them actually in the loft, collecting dust. And I just practiced every night. And I got, like, one of my mates used to work at Foo Bar, and then I've just like started from there, like when I was 17.
Right. So, like you were saying about being female in the scene and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I want to touch on that a little bit. So, like the first generation of harder side of things, whether it is bounce, hard house, hardcore, and
Yeah.
stuff like that, was like, to me, anyways, was like the Tidy Girls.
Yeah.
So, like as
Yeah,
you say,
yeah.
Lisa Lashes, Lisa Pinup, Anne Savage,
Yeah.
and all them, and to look at, like, obviously I've done my research into everyone. I'm like Rain Man. I was watching videos of the Tidy Girls at Tidy Weekender 3, I think it was, and they were on the stage playing and stuff, and I thought, you can tell with the old camcorders and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
the quality of it. I was like, that you could tell that watching that they were inspiring a lot
Yeah,
of like
definitely.
women, especially. But even me watching it, I was like, that's special,
Yeah.
that, and I could see why they're like quite heroic, especially in the harder
Yeah.
scene. Did you know where I'm coming from? Like, what for me personally, I seen it and I was just like, wow. But I can imagine if you'd be able to relate to it more than me.
Yeah,
It's like,
definitely.
well, if they could do it, maybe one
Yeah,
day
yeah.
I could maybe play it in a club, never mind on a stage like that. And I think that's it.
Because I've always thought with DJs, it's men.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
to see them, I was like, wow, that's amazing.
And it's a
So,
weird one
like-
though, isn't it? Do you not think that, like, if you're a bricklayer, right?
Yeah,
This is just a
yeah.
bad thing
Yeah, yeah.
of saying it, but like, it is quite male dominated because it can be like quite labor intensive,
Yeah.
and obviously the way it is, I believe in like equality in that nowadays. But when you look at like the DJing, it's not like it's labor intensive. It's like anyone can do it. And it's like, why wasn't there more females before?
Yeah, yeah.
And then now there's like a big surge of like, well, if you just look in the sort of who's big in the charts, stuff like that Peggy Go and
Yeah.
Sam Devine and
Yeah,
people like that, like there's a proper like representation for women. And I think people like yourself, Mitsubishi, and there is a few names that were around in the sort of
Yeah.
like 2000s where I'm like, used lot with like the sort of first bounce ones.
Yeah.
Do you feel? Do you wear that like badge quite proudly? Does that make sense?
I hear that quite a lot, like you're the first female in bounce, but I'm like, well, not really, because obviously Mitsubishi.
Yeah.
There was a few others, but like back then, I was quite out there. Do you know what I mean? But wasn't not as probably as much as now. I don't think I am anyway. But so, yeah.
No, it's just like
but-
consistently though. Like
but, like-
consistently, you've been quite a mainstay,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
a
Like-
lot of people know who you are. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I get like booked for gigs, and it'd be just men, and I'm like, I feel like dead scared, dead intimidated by them all. But Like, it doesn't bother me now because there's more females now, which I appreciate quite a lot. You know?
I've got a question. So obviously, when I was doing my research into you, I seen that all the gigs and all the flyers and stuff like that, and you literally were sometimes the only female on the lineup.
Yeah.
When you went there, and maybe someone, because this is maybe say pre-boom of social media, you turn up to a club. Did you find that like it quite intimidating?
Very, yeah.
Because I remember going into a club when I like for a gig. I remember turning up. I can't remember where it was, and it was somewhere I'd never been. Didn't know any of the DJs on the lineup, and I turned up, and I obviously just being like a 17-year-old lad. I was just went in, and I was just like a bit taken back, and I'm like not nervous. I don't get nervous, but I'm just like, do you know where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So I imagine even back then turning
Like
up and
back
you've been
then was
yeah.
very
Oh well, the shock that you came into
scary.
the DJ box.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
What are you doing in here?
Yeah,
do you know
like,
what
oh
I
my
mean?
God, there's a girl on the dance stage, kind of shit, you know, one of them.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
get that. But I think you've with what you've done and on like the gigs you've played and even your mixes and stuff like that, you think you proved yourself to a lot, that you're not just here, you're not just a pretty face behind the decks.
Exactly,
it's like you can actually, there's a certain skill level as well to get where you are.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sort of went off track there, but I just thought it was a good
No,
topic
good,
of discussion. So yeah, what was your first rave then? What, like, where as an adult, I mean, like, because you were saying about your friend at the 1210s. What was your sort of first? We're all going on a night out. We'll go here. Where was that at?
Wigan Pier.
Was it?
Yeah.
It's not a bad first night out.
Yeah.
I mean, it sets a standard.
Wigan
but
Pier Maxine's back then, yeah.
Right. So, can you remember going in for the first time?
I remember going in Wigan Pier, yeah, I was like, I'd love to like DJ up there. Obviously I never got a chance, but I was like, I'd love to, you know, DJ for...
What year was that then?
Oh God, I can't remember. Is it 2000? I remember there was a bit of a gap, wasn't there, in the bounce scene, it like it died off. Was that like 2012?
Yeah.
So I think it was just before then. 2000
So it closed
2007, 2008.
Right, okay. It closed in December of 2011, so it'd have to have been before. And going in, was it in like a nice feeling of like, oh, this, I feel
it's
like...
It's one of them clubs where you wipe your feet on the way out, but it was all shithole sort of thing. It was just, honestly, it was amazing. The atmosphere, the smell of that coffee when you walk in.
Yeah.
Alcohol or whatever.
And did you think to yourself, like, one day maybe, or was it just like, oh, I'm never going to be up there?
I always thought I'd get a chance up there, yeah. But I wasn't quite known with them.
Yeah. So, when you were saying about your mate having the 1210s, did you ever get, like, a chance to, like, well, give me a go and see what it's about?
No, what I did is, stood back and just watched what they were doing. Constantly watching. And then when I eventually bought myself some, I just practiced.
Yeah.
Like, reading the vinyl and just, like, on my headphones on because my mum hated it. Like, turn that fairground music off,
Yeah.
Just constantly practicing, yeah.
And how long did it take for it to click with you then? So, like, obviously, when you first started, like, me personally, when I first started off, it was like, how do they do that so cleanly, or like...
I think when you just watch, don't you? You just pick it up that way, and then you have a go yourself, like, doing all that, and yeah. But
and
beat matching wasn't very great back then.
Yeah. So when did the beat matching part of it click for you?
It was just getting a gist of the speaker and then the headphones and then mixing one side and then into the that was quite hard for me at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's like lots of different ways that you see people mix, but a lot of like the older DJs I've seen, like when I've been back to back with some of them, they still mix in like a mono earphone and then through the monitor. I'm like, I couldn't do that. I'm not about that. I mix with headphones on, and so you can hear it's like it's in stereo, and I'm just like it's just easier.
It's like in a big club as well. Sometimes I put both on because if you do one in and out, it's like a delay sort of thing. Especially in a big club.
Especially when there's no monitor.
Yeah.
Or the monitor, right? Have you been in them DJ booths where they're like the DJ booth's like a club in itself, and it's like the monitor's like half the way down the road. Yeah. So sort of going forward, then you went to Pier and stuff like that. Were you like, I need to sort of get gigs. I need to sort of get myself out there a bit. Were you recording demos or anything like that? Or?
No, it was more like every gig that I went to, someone would notice me. You know,
Right.
and it was like, was it MSN back then? Messaged me, oh, we've got a booking, blah blah, for you at such and such place. And then every time I did a gig, I'd get noticed that way. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
So we
yeah.
never had like mixes out or things like that.
Right.
I didn't really put myself out there, to be fair.
So what was your first gig and how did you get it then?
It was Food Bar, obviously Food Friends, that friend I used to go to. Food Bar, and then there was Funky Peach, met Brown in PMB there, and he got us a gig at Cricketers,
Right.
the Cricketer in Wigan,
Yeah.
gig there, and there was loads of like people who I looked up to, like Arky and Farrell, things like that, and Arky said to me, oh, you're really good, we want you to be resident for Adrenaline. I was like, bloody hell. So ever since that, we did, was it Zone in Preston?
Yeah.
Club Zone. And I'd constantly DJing there every weekend, and I just got noticed that way.
Excellent.
So-
What sort of tunes were you playing back then when you were saying you
Obviously,
went
it was
before?
vinyl back then
Yeah.
for Adrenaline. Just mainly like vocally stuff.
Was it?
I was quite known for Because of You. Was it D&J, that
Yeah.
record?
Right,
Because of
okay.
You.
Oh, yeah, it is a good tune.
I was quite known for that back then. Like, they used to do like when you hear a DJ, like what's
The signature tune.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
was my signature tune.
Everyone's
back
got a
then.
signature tune, haven't
Yeah.
they? We had Mannequin Friends last weekend, or weekend before, sorry, at Club 135, and Bond played Because of You.
Yeah.
And honestly,
It's big now again,
it
isn't
still
it?
gets the reaction. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Do you want to laugh here? It still gets the huge reaction, and it's like, fucking hell. It's like what, like I don't know, I'll be like 15 years old now, I
I
imagine.
know, yeah.
And it's like all the kids still love it. Do you know
It's like
what I
Set
mean?
You Free as well.
Yeah. But you,
And,
like,
you know,
I remember hearing it for the first time and thinking, oh, that's a brilliant tune, that. But I didn't think it would be still as prominent as it
Yeah.
is, like so many years later. So is that the sort of stuff you were playing, the more bouncy, vocally stuff?
vocally stuff, yeah.
So were you playing, like, early on for Adrenaline? Because obviously they do play a little bit harder.
yeah.
So were you playing that sort of earlier sets?
Yeah, earlier set, probably
Right.
first hour to be fair, because I was quite new then. So,
Right.
like first hour.
Who was, like, the first MC you'd worked with then, like, on a set?
Buckley, you know Buckley, don't you?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
he's
yeah.
from Southport as well, so he was
Right.
like probably the first MC.
Right, excellent. So then going forward, and you're starting to play for Adrenaline and stuff like that. Was there other promotions sort of getting you to play for them as well at the time?
Oh God,
Because it's obviously a big promotion to play for
Yeah.
so early on as well. So I imagine you probably would have had a few eyes on you, like from there even, because I remember years ago that Adrenaline was like a big, if you like that sort of tougher style, it was like an essential part of
Yeah.
the northwest scene. Do you know what I mean? So for you to get on there, I imagine there was a few people going, who's she? Do you know what I mean? What's she
Yeah.
about? And then obviously
I
you get to watch.
did Frequency 10 once, but it never got like released or anything. You know, just the warm up.
Yeah.
Frequency 10. Did that, but they did Food Bar as well. They
Yeah.
were known at Food Bar.
Oh yeah, well
Yeah.
they had some of the biggest nights there, didn't they?
Yeah.
Were you going to them nights?
Yeah, quite a lot. Southport, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where else? I did Club DNA in Blackpool.
Yeah.
What was that night for? Devotion?
Oh yeah, Devotion. Yeah.
Where else was there back then? 53 Degrees. They had Rapture. They were quite big nights back then.
Right.
but
I was going to ask you about that. Obviously,
But
I have done my
yeah.
research into you. You did quite a few Rapture nights.
Yeah.
Who was it that ran that then?
Asmat, his name was.
Right.
Yeah.
And
He doesn't
was
anymore.
and when you got on there, was it at this point would you say you've established yourself a little bit?
Yeah.
Excellent. And then were you still playing Food Bar as regular as well?
Not as much.
No.
Yeah.
So you got out of like the Southport scene pretty quick then,
Yeah,
didn't you?
yeah.
Like because it seems to be a lot of people will play like the local circuit for a bit and get the name out there, but you seem to get onto the bigger
Yeah,
promotions pretty quickly. Did you do any sanctuaries or out like that?
Now I have, but back
Yeah.
then I didn't.
No,
I
no.
always wanted to do Sanctuary because I did, what was it called? I did, what was it now? Syndicate.
Yeah,
I always
yeah.
wanted to do that for them, but
Just when you said you're doing the devotion as well, everyone
Yeah.
sort of mingles within the same
yeah,
sort of
yeah.
crowds. Do you do like Dance Attack or out like
I've
that?
done Dance Attack,
Yeah,
yeah.
see, it's all similar sort of
Yeah,
crowds, that isn't it?
And then there was medicine. I did there, but I think it was an under 18s. I don't know if it was antidote. I'm not sure. There's an under 18s at medicine. I did
Right.
there.
Oh,
It was
excellent.
quite massive back then. Wasn't
Yeah,
it? Medicine,
yeah, definitely. And did you find that your style worked there as well? Did it?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
excellent,
yeah.
excellent. So then, obviously, yours and Rome's story will sort of like cross paths a bit.
Yeah.
And in the last one, I mentioned about sort of antidote medicine and all that. Can you remember the first time going to medicine?
Yeah.
What was that like? Because that's
Like
another
Wigan
one of them
Pier, but
places.
smaller.
Yeah,
Everyone
exactly.
with the
Yeah,
tops off,
yeah.
at the back, things like that. It was just honestly amazing. The vibe.
There's a lot of places like your Wigan Piers, your medicines. A lot of people call them like home. Do you know what I mean? That was it felt like
It's like
you know everyone, and
shitholes, There are shitholes,
Is that what you wanted to make you move up here then?
Pardon?
Is that what wanted to make you move up here?
Yeah.
Go on medicine, it'd be easier to get there rather than travelling from Southport.
Yeah.
So when did you meet Rome then? Would it have been around about this time?
I think when him and Mikey C asked me to do that under 18s, that was on MSN. And that's how I met him. Yeah.
Getting chatted up on MSN.
Yeah. I think I went to his mum's for like a do there, and I just never went home.
Excellent.
So we've just been together how long? 14 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So with regards to that then, at this point, is antidote a thing, or what was the?
A bit, yeah.
A bit.
Yeah.
Also, it already established when you'd
it's
sort
already
of
established,
got into it.
Yeah.
Excellent. So then, going forward and stuff, because what year would have this been then when you're up this way, like going to medicine and places
So we
like
got
that?
with Rome in 2009.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, you had a bit
2009.
of a break away from the scene after that, though,
Yeah,
didn't you?
we did. I think. Do you know what? It's quite funny that because I think everyone did for about a good 4 years, didn't they? It was like 2012.
Yeah.
Not 2012. Sorry. What was it? 2000.
I think right in about 2014, I think a lot of the stuff started picking up again.
Yeah.
Numbers started rising because there was a period of time, and I've talked about it, it's documented so much on here, where there was a bit of a lull, and even the biggest nights were doing a bit shit. And
I think because all the best clubs, like obviously burnt down, whatever. Yeah. There was Wigan Pier, there was Club DNA, Medicine. Just all the best clubs went, and then after that, just people didn't really want to get into the scene anymore, and it just died off for a bit. I know I went away for about a good 4 years, and then come back, and I noticed everyone else was coming back as well.
So when you were doing that, right? Well, like when you were away, did you miss it, or were you good for the break?
I did miss it. I mean, I didn't stop DJing. I was doing like house music.
Yeah.
Got booked for quite a few house nights, and I did a festival as well.
All right.
A small one.
Where was that at? Sorry.
That was Summer Days Music Festival. It was like a pub with a big garden, one of them.
Yeah.
Tents and that, but yeah, it was good.
So what was the when you say house music? It's like a big blanket of stuff. But what style of house
It was
music
like
were you
minimal
playing?
tech house.
Oh,
I was
right.
doing, yeah, quite harder.
How did you get into that? Like obviously you've gone from D&G because of you to like.
I always like house music, especially the tech house music. Yeah, did a few recordings as well.
Did you find that you had to like sort of not reinvent yourself, but you had to like re-establish yourself when you're doing the house stuff, or was it just not easy?
It was I think RG and Fitton, they were doing house music, weren't they, for a bit? They booked me for a night in Southport, a house night, I can't remember what that was called. But did a few mixes as well for SoundCloud. But it's one of them, it's not what you know, it's who you know, so you got to sort of like introduce yourself to
people and stuff like that. Yeah,
into
just
house
networking, isn't
yeah,
it? That's all it is.
networking. But yeah, and then obviously I got back into bounce music.
So
I think what I thought is that I've not got to where I want to be.
Yeah.
I want to do these big stages and things like that. I think that's why I got back into it, because I felt like I wasn't finished with it. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like unfinished business almost. Do you know what I mean? Were you still listening to it like at all?
Not really. No. No.
It's interesting that just because obviously I think everyone has a bit of a break away just to sort of, even if it's just to freshen up ideas of what you want to do going forward and stuff like that. Everyone has that little lull period. I
don't really listen to it now. Like even though I won't get in the car and play Don't Music unless my friends are in there that want it on. I wouldn't obviously I've got that on there, but I wouldn't I don't know. I'd listen to the radio or house music or drum and bass. Drum and bass is my favourite.
Drum and bass.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about sort of dipping your toe into that?
Again, I don't know anyone in drum and bass to
Yeah,
get into that really.
I've found that like with producing, I've like wrote tracks in the past and I've sent them to a couple of people that I know who are so like I did a bit of like garage stuff a while back and I sent it to a mate who lives in Leeds and he's like big into the garage scene and stuff. And he's like, "Oh mate, we're playing this all the time." And I'm just like, I would never know because you don't hear anything because you're not involved with that crowd. Whereas, let's say for instance, I send you one of my new bounce tunes, and then you'll see videos of it popping up like, "Oh, Jen played this," and it's like videos of it, and it's like my tune.
Yeah.
But because you're not involved with that certain scene, it's hard to like get your foot in the door, if that makes sense. And
have you ever tried mixing drum and bass?
yeah.
It's like totally different, isn't it?
It's a completely different structure. I do like. I'm maybe not so much the newer stuff, but I like a lot of the old jungle and stuff.
Yeah, I like the liquidy, vocally drum and bass. So.
Well, I got booked to play for this like Scottish promoter, and it was like, "Oh, turn up and just play what you want." But obviously, I play a bit of hardcore in that as well. So I was playing like I got on the decks and I think it was at 175 BPM there, and I was just like, right, Jesus. So I was playing hardcore, and I would just throw some drum and bass in just because it was the crowd that they wanted it. Do you know what I mean? Like they're all like hipsters. Do you know what I mean? They're all want to be like hippies, and every time a drum and bass drop comes in, they dance differently, don't they? They just give it all beans, and it's like it's weird. But I do like it, but there's something that whatever I try and do, I'm always pulled back into bounce music just because I don't know. It's almost like it was your first love, and then that's you love it. Do you know what I mean? It's a weird way to describe it, but it's the right way, if that makes sense. It is, and it's because you. I don't know about yourself, but like a lot of my like social group is ingrained in the bounce scene. So it's like, even if you wanted to get away, you couldn't because you've got your mates there. Do you know what I mean? Unless you're just one of these dickheads who like who just like fuck their mates off or whatever. Yeah. But like, if they don't have an interest in it and that's your social group, then it's not really gonna do much. You're not really gonna do much with it. Anyways, another tangent we went off on there. Just back to your story. You were doing your gigs and stuff like that, and then you went and done the house bits. When you came back to bounce, what was it? Was it like a conscious decision, or was it just, did you sort of just creep back in, or?
Well, I had my son Caden.
Yeah.
And then like 3 months after I had Caden, I was actually 15 weeks pregnant, and I think Arky messaged me saying we're doing an adrenaline reunion sort of thing, and I said I can't go because I'm obviously pregnant. And then after I had my son, I thought I might get back into it, and I think my brother put a night on, and I did that after like 3 months after he was born. But and then I just got back into it again.
Did you feel like you missed it when you went back and
I did actually miss it, because I enjoy mixing. I love it. I'm passionate about it. It's my like escape, from everything.
I get that.
So,
I get that.
Enjoy it, I really do.
It's like you've got your day-to-day life, wherever it's whatever job you do or whatever worries you've got, but then you go and play bounce music to a bunch of randomers, and it's like a great relief. It's almost
just an escape from everything. You just forget about everything. And
I don't need to go and get any sort of go and see a shrinker out like that or talk to anyone about anything, because like once you've had that, it's like you're relief, and then you're back to the real world after that, and it's just like, well, that was good. Like, and I could do that more often. Do you know what I mean?
It's a hobby, isn't it? As well?
Yeah, I think. Just a question while we're on the subject, like, do you feel like you could burn yourself out a bit with bounce music? Do you know what I mean? Like, I limit myself to what I do, so obviously I do this is quite a prominent part of what I do now, the podcast and stuff. But like with gigs wise, I don't want to be this DJ that goes out week in, week out, just because I feel like it would burn my brain. And it's like, at what point does it stop becoming a hobby? Do you know what I mean? Do you ever feel like that at all?
In 2019, I got quite well known. I was like got booked for like Bounce Heaven, things like BTID. So it was like constantly every weekend, every Friday, every Saturday for like a good year or two. Not obviously for Bounce Heaven, BTID, but I was like bookings constantly, and honestly, I felt so drained. Yeah. Just constantly doing it all.
Doesn't feel like a hobby anymore, though, does it?
Doesn't feel like a hobby. Yeah.
See, when it
was quite scary because I went like into depression after it.
I can see that.
Too much.
See, like there was a point when I started out and I was trying to get gigs and stuff. Where, like the aim in my eyes was like, I'd love to play out every Friday or Saturday or wherever. And then once you get a taste of it, I'm just like, your head goes a bit, and then it's like your escape becomes part of that. Part of it all, and I'm just like, I think a lot of people don't talk about that, and I think it needs talked about a lot more because like you can be overworked. When I see some people's schedules when they post like a picture up online saying I'm doing this from now till Christmas, I'm just like, yeah, good on you because because I don't want to do that.
I don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
I'm quite happy with one book in a month, you know.
Yeah, no, it's because it's it's anticipation of like looking forward to it, and
exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So when you came back, you said you played for your brother. What was that event then?
God, what was it? Was it Generation? I think it was a Generation night, and there was 3 other females as well. There's Debbie Diesel, Miss T, and I think 2. I can't remember the 2 others.
So was this 2015? Was it roughly?
Yeah.
Right.
No,
Okay.
2014,
right. It's just when you said about because I'm sure the Adrenaline reunion was like 2014.
Yeah, it was 2000. Yeah, because I was a couple of months pregnant.
Right. Okay. Right. So and when you went back, what were you playing? Were you playing the stuff that you used to play, or were you actively digging out new music?
Probably stuff I used to play.
Yeah. And once you had that bug back, were you thinking, I'm gonna try and do this, get back on it again?
Definitely, yeah.
And where did it go from there then? So you played his event. Were you recording mixes and that again, or were you?
I did a few mixes. I built the SoundCloud up. Did a few mixes on there, and got a few followers and that. But that's about it, really. Yeah.
And did anything come off the back of that then when you were doing that? What were you doing then at that time? Because obviously when you left, it's too different. It's like night and day, isn't it? When you come back, you've got to start and build it all up again. Where was the first place that sort of took you after that then? Like promotion wise or club wise, where were you playing at in that sort of time frame? Was there another Adrenaline night, or was there?
No, I just wanted to like DJ for BTR Day.
I
just wanted to get in there. Because like back then, like I always wanted to do Wigan Pier and work for them.
It was the next thing, wasn't it?
But now it's BTRD now, isn't it? And I was like, I really want to.
So were you going to them nights and that?
Yeah, quite a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what I say, like with people, like especially up and comers that want like bookings, but you got to like introduce yourself to, you know, promoters or DJs, MCs, get to know them and things like that.
It's like,
that's what I was trying to do.
A good analogy is like, imagine, obviously you guys do Antidote. Imagine just some randomer dropping in your inbox saying, "Book me for Antidote."
I've had a few of them.
It doesn't work like that. It's
no,
like
it doesn't.
You've got to know somebody on the, especially with it being it's not like a BTID where it's more like a company. It's just like Antidote to me. When you look at it, it's just a group of mates.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would I book you randomly? I've never met you before. You've never been to the nights, and there's like 30 other DJs who come to our nights who would love to play.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't it doesn't comprehend in my head why that would happen. I understand that people are eager and stuff like that, but if you're eager, just go and say hello. Like instead of jumping in their inbox, come down to the next Antidote night and go, "Hi, I was going to message you. I've got a demo. I think what you're doing really good, and I think I would fit the bill. So there you go. And if anything ever comes of it, it's a bonus. But at least you have probably had a good night out as well. Do you know what I mean? When you've been to the night.
See, I've always been like a raver as well as a DJ. So like being a raver and listening to tracks that are being played, might play that on my next set, you know, things like that. Plus introducing myself and things like that. So, but yeah, like nowadays, I feel like it's really hard to get into, like being an up and comer. Because it's more like
oversaturated
now, isn't it?
market, isn't it? I find that when you see like some people coming through now, there were maybe people who were around 10, 15 years ago, and they were like, and you see it online. It's like they'll post a status like, "Why am I not getting gigs?" It's like, because you've done 3 mixes in a year. Like, what do you expect? It's not like it was like years ago. I think now you've got to be your own content manager. You've got to put mixes out. You've got to be able to produce. You've got to be able to you've got to do everything now to keep up with what everyone's doing, because if you're not doing what they're doing, you're not even in the competition for getting on the lineups. Do you know what I mean? Like for me, like sometimes I'm just there and I'm just like, I really can't be bothered having to advertise all this. I love the creation part of maybe recording a podcast. I love this. I love recording mixes. I love producing music. It's very therapeutic, but I find that having to market, I'm saying
I know,
not
I
bothered.
struggle with marketing. I just wish someone
Yeah.
would do it for me because honestly, just trying to keep up with.
But you need to do it though, don't you? Yeah.
You have to be really active all the time.
You need to do it and it's just the way the world is now. If you're wanting on anything, you've got to be like proactive, and you've got to be. And if you complain and saying why they're getting a booking and I'm not, it's just like probably because they're working harder than you are to try and get that spot. And now, because there's, like I said, there's an oversaturation of DJs. Everyone's a DJ nowadays.
Yeah.
Everyone's wanting that one spot, so you need to be outdoing the next person. And if you're only putting out 3 mixes a year and you're just sticking it on your SoundCloud and like, there's my new mix.
Yeah.
You can't expect.
A booking.
Yeah, you can't expect BTID coming to you going, yeah, do you know that one mix you put out, that's better than what everyone's doing. It's just, it doesn't work like that. I mean, there is a few exceptions of like people who've come along and then just literally smashed it straight away, but they don't have the social media thing, but then they have to get on it or they'll just fall back down the ladder again. Do you know what I mean? So with your story, I just wanted to get into the sort of next part then. You weren't doing any antidote nights at that point, were you? Like 2015, 16 or out like that? No.
I think I did one. I don't know what year. I don't know if it was 2016. We did an antidote night at Rain in Warrington.
Oh right, yeah, I can remember that actually.
That was like early on, and then.
And how did that go? Like, was it good to bring it back?
It was alright, yeah.
Was it like nostalgic?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, because it's like
just average.
Yeah, but like you meeting up with like people that before you had your break, they'd maybe show faces and you hadn't seen them in a while. I love that.
But I think like with Antidote properly progressed. Don't know what year that was, but a couple of years ago. But like when Easy come on board, and obviously Bellis and James, there's loads actually. I can't name them all. DOT.
Yeah.
But like with DOT, Viper and Rome, like back then, they used to have them on the. What's the name played on the mobile phone? Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
All the time, so it's quite known back then. But to have it back now, I think it'll be massive soon.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
So, when did you get your first BTID booking? Because you're obviously I'm moving forward now. If I'm going off what I remember when I was looking into bits that you'd done, you did like the Clubland weekender in like 2000.
I did Clubland weekend.
What was that? What year was that? 2018 was it? 2019?
I think so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 18 I think. Yeah.
Had you played BTID at this point?
No.
So like getting Clubland's a massive like achievement at the time, and how was that gig? What were you playing newer stuff then at this point?
I was in like a room 2 of Clubland, so it was like main stage. But it was still good because they had hardcore on as well, and then I played after the hardcore lot. But yeah, it's like
excellent.
All my friends are there.
So when did you decide to like? I know I'm sort of changing the subject or whatnot, but when did you just decide to like, right, we're going to give this antidote thing a go? Because obviously it's all around this time where I started noticing what you were up to. Do you know what I mean? Where, as you say, when Easy came on board and people like that. When did you sit down and have the conversation of like, should we try something with this? Or did you have that conversation? Or is it just...
What for Antidote?
Yeah, like did it have like a...
I've been pushing Rome to like get Antidote nights on for a while, yeah.
What, and were you like pushing him and he was like, all right, I see how this goes.
It won't for me, won't be Antidote, I'm joking. But yeah, I've been constantly pushing him to do it. And because I think it's, because what we've got, like you said, we're all friends and that, and everyone wants a piece of it, don't they? So they're just always really, really good nights, good atmosphere, good vibe.
Yeah.
And for BTID, the first time I got booked, it wasn't BTID, it was Bounce Heaven, but they're still
right,
the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was at the roller rink, and that was probably the best ever stage I've ever done at the time. I was like, wow. I
remember that. That was different. I remember seeing the when the venue got announced, and I was like, oh, this is a bit different. Excellent.
And
I
it's
like
like
that.
on the big stage. I was like, oh my god! But
were you nervous?
I loved it. Yeah, I was nervous because it's big for me. Like, I'm used to doing little, small, small events. But yeah, that was like big for me. That. But this is it now.
Obviously, we've skipped forward through a few bits, but I just wanted to ask, like, say when you did that gig and you turned up there, I don't know how many people were there because I didn't go there myself that night. But what was the comparison to say playing there in Wigan to turning up to the Crick for the first time when you played there, like how the years have went by and the progression of everything. It's like I've went from playing this club of like it was like just a small bar, essentially small club, to playing this roller rink. Did you ever have that realization at all?
Because at the time I was used to intimate gigs, but to do something like that, I was like, wow, I don't know, I've never experienced that feeling before. And like even mixing as well, the sounds are different. 'Cause it's
I know what you mean.
Do
I
you
know
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I enjoy it. But do you know what? Like now, I get more nervous doing the intimate gigs than I do big ones.
I feel a bit like that. It's like
Yeah.
it's not because you're disconnected, but do you know when you play a big gig, you seem to be further away from the crowd,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like they're not judging you.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes when you have an intimate gig, you get like the aspiring DJs, or you get like the people who are genuinely interested in what you're doing,
Yeah.
and they're just like
Yeah,
like
what
right
you do,
over. It's
yeah.
like it's like
Yeah.
it gives me the thing, but I don't mind. It just I get where you're coming from, and I relate to that massively because I feel like if you play on a big stage where there's like a gap between you and the crowd, it's like just get on with it and do what you want, and you're not feeling that pressure of like eyes just glaring through you. So yeah, we were talking about the Wigan. Was it the roller rink? Was it called? I can't remember what it was. Yeah.
In Wigan.
So at this point, when you came back, was that you said that was your biggest gig to date? Had you played Pure at this point, or?
I think so. Yeah. No, I don't think I did. No.
Obviously.
I have to look at the flyers. I don't know, but I don't think I did. Or did I? I don't know.
Because obviously coming back, obviously when you came back and you did Rain in Warrington, obviously going back over to Wigan, it would be like you have to sort of reinvent yourself. There'll be the older people who know, oh yeah, I remember her from back in the day, but you have to like obviously reinvent yourself and re-establish yourself. And going back to such a big gig.
It's like a new generation now, isn't it? And
It
people
is.
thought I was like new, up and coming, but
Yeah.
like I think Carla, when we did a night in Warrington, Carla was like, "How good's that DJ Angel?" And then I think Cova commented, "Oh, she's been doing it for years," but he was like, "Bloody hell, I didn't know that."
Yeah.
It's not many people know who I am like back then. So
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
It's like I was DJing about 2 weeks ago, and I remember just like I was back to back with John doing a manic set, and I tapped John and I said, "We're playing tunes here," and these kids weren't even born when these tunes came out, and it's just like absolutely, because like I was looking and I was like, well, he's not old enough to be. He's about 12. He was standing there and he'd put like his dad's clothes on, quite clearly put his dad's clothes on, and I was just like, yeah, he's not meant to be here. I pointed him out to John. I said, look at that guy, look at that lad, because do you know when he's there and he doesn't know the etiquette of a niclub? So you see some people just dancing away, enjoying themselves. He was standing there at the side like proper deer in the headlights, wearing his dad's clobber. It was a weird
shirt
like
and pants.
Yeah, no, it wasn't even shirt and pants. That's the most embarrassing part of it. He's wearing clothes that I'd wear, so I wear dad clothes. Do you know what I mean? But like, we're at that age now where my son's only 4 and he thinks I'm like the most uncool person ever. Like he hates when I walk to school with him because he's like, I'm not cool. Do you know what I mean? Like, because what's cool to kids now is we just think it's odd, and then what we thought was cool back in the day, we thought
back in the day, people used to wear shirt and pants, and then the girls would be wearing heels and dresses. But
Yeah.
now they'd be like trainers, shorts.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But
but the,
bouncing back then, it was like proper dressed up to the nines to a bounce night. Honestly.
yeah, no, I can. In certain places, but like that was one of the things that I noticed about this young lad. He was like, he wasn't dressed like a 17, 18-year-old that you see like on the dance floor. He was dressed like I'd be dressed, and I was like, yeah, I see dad's clothes. I love people watching when DJing. I'm not judging anyone. I'm not like that at all. But I just love like seeing. Well, I suppose it's part of the part of DJing. Do you know when you're like, what tune should I play next? And it's like, I think this will go down well. And it's just like looking just to see the reaction of each tune, or how a breakdown works, or how when a tune kicks in, how do they react to that, or when you play more that sounds like that, or I might test this out. I've never played this before, but I think this will work because that worked. I love watching the whole psychology of it.
That's why it's good to be a raver yourself, just to listen to the reaction to the crowd.
Yeah.
You say, right, I'm going to play like my next set. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously listen to the charts as well, like, and TikTok as well. Like, Caden, he's an inspiration as well because he'll play certain tunes. I'm like, oh, that'll go well as a bounce track. Things like that.
So, is there any tunes that you have done where it came from him? His idea.
What's it called? Dancing. Dancing is what it
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing that because he played it on TikTok and he sings it all the time. And I played it at Let's Have It for the first set starter. What's it? Gypsy Woman.
Oh yeah, that's a class tune.
He was singing that quite a lot. I was like, and then I heard it on the bounce.
He's got a good taste in music. Class.
But yeah, I played that. Did that. I said to Kate, I played this tune for you because you sing it all the time.
Is he into the dance music and stuff?
Yeah, he loves Blackout Crew. Yeah.
Do you think he'll end up going to the nights and stuff?
I think so. He wants to learn how to DJ. I mean, I have tried teaching him, but he just can't sit still and gets bored and then does something else. So, but he wants to really get into it and make music as well.
Yeah.
Because he's got this app on his phone that he makes tracks. I know.
Making donk.
Yeah.
I think there will be like another lull point within. I'm not just saying bounce music, but I think there'll be a whole lull point in the DJing industry as a whole, because we're at a point now where there's so many different medias that's available, where it's like people are getting into doing this, that, and the other, like TikTok and everything. There'll be kids who were TikTokers who 10 years ago they'd have been getting into DJing because there's so many different things. I think there'll be like a dry patch where there'll be no DJs.
Yeah.
We're in a period now where there's oversaturation. Everyone wants to be a DJ.
Yeah.
And there'll be a patch in 10 years time where it's like where they all are. No one wants to be a DJ anymore because they've got all these like gaming. Like I've always said, I thought my younger brother would be into DJing because he's always had a similar interest to what I had, and I'm like, yeah, it's just a matter of time. And he just went down the route of gaming, and it's just like, oh, I think he'd have made a good DJ. Like, do you know what I mean? So we might get a lull point, and he could be the main man round here.
That's why it's good to have under 18s as well in the bounce scene. I don't know if it's because I don't know if they want to get into the DJing, but I suppose it's an influence.
If you have 200 kids turn to a nightclub and go to under 18s, and they see what it could be like. I remember that's how I got inspired going to an under 18s and just seeing a DJ there and just being like, wow, like I want some of that, and hopefully you see a lot of these kid raves that's on at the minute. Playing one next Friday. I'm gonna plug it right now. We are bouncing Whitehaven, Solway Hall. If there's kids out there who's gonna go to their first rave and it's like bounce music, I'd be like, I'm all for that. Do you know what I mean? Because like I was saying to you about playing to kids last week. I say kids, they were meant to be over 18, but there was a few under 18s there. And I'm thinking like they've got into this music because like one of these young lasses kept coming up to John saying, John, we love you, please play Italian. And it's like, I'm saying, fucking hell, like madness how these even know what it is. Like these young lasses must have been about 18 at the most, 18, 19. And she was like, can you do my mate's christening? That's what she said, come and DJ. And John's going, no, I don't do functions. But
I love Italian. Do you remember like years ago it used to be you mix Spanish into Italian? So you have a Spanish and then Italian vocal. Oh,
I love
don't
that.
do that anymore, do they? Mix Italian with Spanish.
I've noticed now, and I don't know whether it's just the bounce scene in general, but like when you play any sort of Italian or like even that like Spanish hard dance, you know, like Miguel Serna and that used to play, gets like a lot of people in the bounce scene turn their nose up at it. Maybe it's too cheesy, or I don't know, or maybe not hard enough for them. But I've played like, I know for a fact if I was playing say like Wigan, I would never get away with like playing Italian nowadays at a bounce night. Maybe if it was like a reunion night or something like that where the old heads are up. But if you mixed in an Italian tune now, it's like a lot of the younger bounce like I've noticed, I've seen it firsthand, and it's just like.
I think like Patrick Todd and Calvin Harris, that's got Italian sort of style to it,
absolutely.
So it is getting.
I've just bootlegged the tune. I first heard it and I thought, what a load of shit this is. But John said, listen, we need to. It's got something about it.
Yeah.
So I sat down, let's do it again, and I was thinking, this sounds a bit like an Italian tune. Have you had that Prada tune?
Yeah.
It sounds. It's got that like sounds like that, and I'm just like. It has got something. There's that male vocal, and it's horrible. But like the female vocal and the bass line, the Simpson, that I'm just like, this is like basically an Italian tune, and I love it.
I don't know.
But that's the thing though. Like, I wish people were more open minded because I think now if it hasn't got like a mega donking, when you go to only certain places, mind, if it hasn't got a mega donking, they won't entertain it. Do you know what I mean? So like, there's been times when I've wanted to play, say, Spanish and stuff like that, like the roll and bass line type stuff, and I'm like hesitant, but like, oh, I'll probably lose the crowd if I play this, and I've just like sort of thinged it, and you just stick to what works.
Do you find if you get like booked for a certain event, like say Antidote, you'd play like an Antidote set?
Yeah, you'd have to. Yeah. I think that what makes a DJ good and what people will use you as an example. Let's say that you were playing for Antidote, you play your style, but you would incorporate what they're about into it. Whereas you see some DJs, it's like, well, I've been booked for Antidote, and you just anthem bash that stuff that maybe you and Rome play, and it's just like, we booked you to play for you, not for like, do you know where I'm coming from? It's like for if I play for Sank, I'll play what I'm about, but I'll put hints of what I feel Sanctuary is. Do you know what I mean? Same goes for other things. Like I played for Frequency a few years ago, and I thought, well, I could just come and play a load of Frequency anthems, but like Alex will be playing it, or John will be playing it. So what's the point? So I played what I'm about, and then I'd throw in something. I thought, oh well, this is like a modern day frequency, what you would call a frequency tune, and that's what I feel like makes a good DJ, because you still keep what you're about as your beliefs and your character, but yet you can bend it to fit. Do you know what I mean? I think someone made a comment to me the other day saying about you won't like this, but it's because it's not really what you play. And they sent it over to me, and I was like, "This is banging, mate. This is class." But because it was like the more harder stuff, a lot of people just associate me with vocals and stuff like that, and it's like, no, I do play other stuff. I just don't get the chance to. Like, I don't. If I was gonna rock up and play, I don't know, say Medicine was still open, I wouldn't go and start playing a lot of my vocal stuff. It wouldn't work. Do you know what I mean? Well, if I was on earlier, maybe, but I would adjust what I do for it to fit the what you booked for. So have you ever turned up somewhere with the expectation of playing something, and it's been like a totally different crowd to what you expect?
I was going to mention, I got a gig in London.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, London. So I went down. I didn't know what.
Who was this for?
It was for Planet Fun.
Yeah.
It was for them, and I didn't know what because they don't just play bounce, they play hardcore, you know, all mixture of all kinds. Yeah. So I got there and I was like, wow, like it was like proper fast bloody gab or whatever it was. I was like, I can't play bounce here. Yeah. So lucky, when I did me, you know, you not plan your set, but you select tunes of what to play. But they kept sharing stuff on my Instagram. So I was like, well, I'll play that sort of tune. But when I got there, I was playing vocals and they weren't really getting into it, so I went a bit harder and they were absolutely loving it. So I thought, right, I'll play the hardest style, because you got to sort of like read the crowd, haven't you?
Yeah. You could have carried on and pursued playing the vocal, and it'd have been like, right, thanks for coming, nice one. Yeah. And then, or you can get it rocking and play, like you could work reverse. You could turn to somewhere like, say, Medicine, and play hard, and like that crowd that's in on that particular night, well, we want more vocals there. We want it not as mental as that. It's
like with Antidote, it's not just about pokey and I know because they've got quite a lot of MCs, but most of MCs want to break with a vocal, you know, so it's not just pokey, it's vocals as well.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people need to realise that it's not just, if you turned up and it was just a night full of pokey, I don't think any of the DJs would want to be there, because it's like it's you've got to have the variety and everything like that.
Like we had a DJ doing the first hour, I'm not mentioning any names, but we had the first hour doing Antidote, and they were playing full blown pokey.
Was it Glover?
And people walking. No comment. But just like full blown pokey, like people are walking in like sober, like, oh god, and then walking back out. So, you just can't do that.
Sorry, Glover, I didn't mean to do that. No, I get it. I think there's a thing to being like a seasoned DJ as well, though. Like if you're a DJ, it's like you played various places. You've played different style gigs. You sort of like get to learn. If you rock up at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock somewhere, don't expect if you even if it is booked for a really hard night, don't go and play that to start off with. You've just got to get people, and just to get the people in there. I think that's why there isn't many warm up DJs around nowadays. But same goes for the last hour. I was listening to, do you know Kutski?
Yeah.
I was listening to Kutski's podcast the other day, and he did a special where it was called Close and Set Tunes. So it was like basically 5 a.m. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to just play tunes to keep the energy up, keep people there for it's an art form in itself. Just keep the energy up for that last hour, because as soon as you have a lull point in that where it's like might be an extended breakdown or something, people are just gonna ring a taxi and want to go home because it's 5 o'clock in the morning. So there's an art form to doing things throughout the night, and warm up is not 160 BPM pokey. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
like everyone always plays that one Happiness as the last track. I'd have that as my first track as a warm up. I
suppose it would get everyone in, foot
tapping
and stuff like that.
First tune.
Yeah, and it's not like one function fits all. It's like you've got to. If I was playing warm up for Sank, I'd play a different warm up than I would for say Antidote. It wouldn't be the same formula. It doesn't work like that. But as I say, you've just got to be able to read that sort of crowd.
Yeah.
What's the sort of hardest crowd you've played to, would you say?
Hardest, probably London.
Do you think so? But do you think that it was a learning curve coming away, knowing that you had to I had to switch that up there?
Yeah.
I switched that up. On the flip side of that, then, what's the easiest crowd you've played to, where you've turned up and you've just thought, I can play whatever I want here, and they're just going to go mental to it? Is there
probably Let's Have It.
Let's Have It.
Yeah.
What any event in particular, or just for that brand in general?
Just Let's Have It. I don't know. It's everyone's just singing, aren't they? It's just such a good vibe for Let's Have It.
Yeah, I've never actually been to any of them.
The easiest set, yeah.
Do you think so? Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Right, so we were around about 2018, 2019 there in your story, and we've run off on one again, but it's all fun. Everyone likes conversation. So you're getting established and stuff like that. What sort of gigs were coming in at that point? Say just before COVID and stuff like that, maybe the year or two before COVID. What sort of stuff was coming in? You said about Bounce Heaven. You said
I went to the first time I went to Pier on the Pier, and then a year later I got booked, and I was quite shocked to do Pier on the Pier.
What year was that? 2019.
I should have wrote all this down. I don't even know the years, but yeah, probably after 2019. 20,
right.
Yeah.
Right. I played that year on Pier on the Pier.
And then COVID happened, didn't it?
Yeah, so they didn't have the 2021. It was all booked in, but it never went ahead.
That's right.
So you did the 2019 one. What day were you on? I can't remember if I've seen you. No.
Should I get the flyer out? I don't know.
No, it's all right.
I think it was a Sunday.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I played the last night, whatever the last night is, either the Saturday or the Sunday. I don't know. Oh, it's bank holiday, so it'll be the Sunday. So I played the Sunday, and I think I played about 4 a.m. or something like that in Flamingos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that, yeah.
You might have been on at the same time.
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
Not crossing paths.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In fact, I probably did see you that night.
Yeah.
I think I was on after Macca. Possibly.
Yeah.
Macca was on, and it was a proper graveyard shift. Even though it wasn't even like that late into the night, I felt like these lot have been going all weekend.
Yeah.
How did you find the Pier on the Pier set? Like doing that then?
Loved it.
Did you?
Yeah.
What type of stuff were you playing? Was it more?
Vocally
Was
stuff,
it vocally?
yeah.
Because I've always.
I do throw a bit hard in now and then.
Excellent.
Cheeky.
Yeah. Just to keep them on the toes a bit. Yeah. I like that. I think variety is key as well, isn't it? So after that, you started doing my Antidote stuff as well, didn't you? Around about that time, pre sort of COVID.
Mentioned quite a lot about Antidote here.
I know, because I when I've seen you come back, it was just as like, seeing your names on flyers again, and then sort of hand in hand, Antidote came back with it.
Yeah.
Obviously you were pushing for it. I didn't know that at the time, that maybe that's what it is. So coming into 2020, what was your sort of plan? 'Cause obviously March everything shut down. Did you have a big year planned?
Well, I worked at the hospital in the pandemic, and I was on the front line, so I didn't really focus much on DJing. I mean, there was a lot of like people doing live streams and things like that. It's where I wanted to, but I couldn't because of obviously my job. So
yeah. So in just before the pandemic and everything like that, did you have a good year planned ahead of you?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I thought 2019 was, because it was like every weekend constantly.
Yeah.
I thought this is it now.
This is it. Well, and you're coming into 2020, and you're like, it's going to be a big one.
Yeah.
Is there anything? Is there anything that was planned that didn't sort of come off that you're a bit gutted about?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, you just sort of knew it was going to be a good year though.
Yeah.
And at this point as well, had you just done any tunes? 'Cause obviously, we were talking before. You were saying about you've got this EP coming out and stuff. Did you have any tunes out at this point?
No, like for me myself, I am learning how to make music. It's been about 2 years now. I've always wanted to do it. You know, you got ideas in your head, but you just don't know
How to put it? Yeah.
So I think I was on at like 10 at night and I finished at like 7 in the morning. I was like, shit. But I'm, learning and I did quite a few tunes actually. Not on that night, but I've done like 4 or 5, but I've not finished them. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think I've seen a video you put up about it, and I was just like, oh,
time consuming, isn't it?
It is. I think once it clicks, so you're like, all your ideas leave you. So you're just sitting there. You know what to do now, but there's no ideas there.
I've always wanted. I want to get a track out eventually, but I don't want people thinking, oh, someone's going to produce that.
Yeah.
I want people to think that, I've actually made that myself. And I've had loads of, like, producers asking me, can we collab, can we do this?
Yeah.
Put my name on it. And I've always said no, because I want to make my own, so...
Yeah, I get that. It's like a thing as well, like, if you become associated with somebody ghost producing for you, it's like, even if you come out years down the line and go, I've did this... They're just going to go, well, they assume someone else has done. They wouldn't even think twice. They've just gone, oh, so somebody then, didn't they?
Yeah.
Even though it probably sounds nothing like them, it's just like, at least when you do it, you've done it on your own, and you've done. There's nothing wrong with using ghost producers, but obviously by association, when you do put something out, it's like they'll just assume that she couldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Or he couldn't have done that because...
I have put my name with Rome on a Fitzy Recipe.
Yeah.
We've made a track with them.
Was that drum and bass one?
Yeah. Here for you, is it?
Yeah, it's a good tune, I like that.
And then, obviously, Greenies asked us to do an EP with him, so I was like, okay. Because I'm leaving, because it's taken me so long to learn, I feel like I'm never going to get a track out, so...
No, but it's good that you do that at the same time. You can pick up bits, like, even if you got in the studio with someone, you see some people, and it's like, I want a tune, and I want it like this, and that's the end of conversation.
Yeah.
When someone comes in, and you're like, so how did you do that? Or how, like, you questioning, quizzing, it's you learning to, when you come home, open up your computer, you will stay up again till 7 in the morning because you've got all these new techniques that you've learned. So I think that works a treat as well. So yeah, during the pandemic and stuff like that, obviously you were busy working. Did you ever get like the sadness of like, oh, is it ever going to go back to normal?
I didn't think it would ever go back to normal, to be fair.
Did you not know?
Was it a good 2 years?
It was about 18 months, 2 years of like.
I think because I was more focused on my job at the time. I didn't really.
Were you not paying attention to what was really going on with regards to like the band stuff?
Saying that, we did an antidote live stream, didn't we?
I remember
in the pandemic. Very naughty, I know.
Yeah.
We did it. I remember doing that.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it would ever get back to normal. Like the club, especially the club situation. Like.
Yeah, about opening up and stuff like that. So when everything started opening back up and stuff, were you like eager with like loads of new tunes to play and stuff like that? Were you
I got loads of new tunes. I got asked to do Let's Have It, and that was the first gig back after the pandemic. And wow, that was absolutely amazing. Like it was,
that was a Saturday in July, I believe, in 2021. Yeah. And was that just like the relief of like,
I nearly
actually
cried. I was just like, oh, we're back.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
I did a selfie video, like, I was meant to be back.
Did it feel good to like have the normal feeling of normality and DJing and stuff like that? But I can imagine that. So coming back off the back of that, I think I remember seeing a video you put up when that came up. I thought, oh, it's definitely going to be a good year for you, because just the hype when it came back, and then you and Rome as well, and it seemed like you just got off to like a sort of flying start. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
How was that then coming back? Then were you trying to push yourself, or were you just taking everything as it comes, or?
Probably push myself a bit more, but yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah. And then sort of going into like 2022 and stuff like that, what did you have on the agenda for? Sort of what you wanted to achieve, or like your goals or all like that? Did you?
Probably more marketing, which I'm really, really crap at. Because like nowadays, it's like obviously marketing is more advanced.
It is.
Probably just do more mixes, I think.
Is it? I think it's like a speciality thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where it's like there's some people out there who just can't DJ at all, but like because the marketing game's amazing, it's
Top
like
on, yeah.
they can get
know.
places. What about sort of like from say the pandemic till now? What's been like your sort of highlights then since then? I know you've done a few Let's Have It's. There's some various bits there, but what's been your personal favourite bits, so to say?
Doing Wonderland at that, not at Park Hall, what was it before?
Wonderland at the farm, was it?
Yeah, that was good.
I went to that as well.
What's it called now?
Can't remember. Did you go to that like little bridge to get into it?
Yeah,
yeah.
You have to pay 50p or something.
Yeah. So
To cross the bridge. But that was
some
highlight
farm
for me.
near Preston somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember what it's called now. But yeah, did you camp the weekend as well? Fuck that.
Bad mistake.
Yeah, fuck that.
Everyone ends up being in an hotel. I was like, God's sake, trying to get some kip here. Absolute nutters.
Yeah, was that a good weekend?
Yeah,
I only
really
went for
good.
I think the Saturday I was there, and
I
honestly
think we
it
did
was
the full
fantastic.
weekend. It was good, yeah.
Where did you play in there? Was it?
The outside, is it the hangar? The hangar
Oh
outside,
yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
It's that BTID crowd. They seem to just follow them everywhere they go as well, isn't it? Because like when I go there, it's always like the same faces. I'm like, oh, you go to BTID. Like there's loads from my area who only go to say BTID nights.
Yeah.
It's like they won't be seen anywhere else all year round, and it's like comes to say Pier on the Pier or Wonderland or something like that, or Boxing Day.
Yeah.
It's like they're
Same.
right there.
Yeah,
There's like
yeah.
coaches of them going down. It's like fucking hell. Do you know what I mean? Just come to my event as well.
Oh, no, yeah.
But yeah, sort of coming into this year then, I want to get a couple of things I wanted to talk about with you. Was you were saying about doing the 3-track EP? What's the sort of thing behind that? You said Greenie come to you.
So it's Greenie's asked us to do an EP for Bouncy. Is
Yeah.
it? Yeah, Bouncy. My mind goes blank. For Bouncy, so we need to do EP track for that, and then am I plugging now?
You can plug it all you want.
And then I'm gonna plug that we're doing Bouncy Box for Bouncy as well.
Excellent.
Excited for that.
So is the tune you just showed me before we started recording? Is that the one that's going to bounce you?
Yes.
That's
for
gonna
the
be. It's
EP.
gonna be a big tune, I think.
Yeah.
So I like it, and I'll play it. And it's even on the harder edge of what I'd play, but I'd 100% play that,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna play
And we
that.
did the thank you for Let's Have
Yeah,
It,
yeah,
lots
yeah.
of Dimitri.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've made that as well, like a bounce version. And
Excellent.
that absolutely went off.
It
Didn't
looked
expect
amazing.
It to go like
Yeah,
that.
it looked amazing. I seen when you put the video up, because it was last Saturday, wasn't it? That?
Yeah.
And I seen it, and I was just like, wow, that's good.
So every track I was playing, everyone was just singing. I kept going like that, but they were sticking me going like that because I couldn't hear him because of the monitor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, wow, everyone's just singing every track. The vibe was unreal. And that was at 10 o'clock.
Class. It seems to be whenever them events are on though, they go in and it's like 100 miles an hour as soon as like. One thing I noticed was I seen one of the videos of it like early doors. It might have even been 10 o'clock, and everyone was straight on the dance floor. No one was at the bar.
Yeah,
Usually you come in and it's like you'll just sort of edge your way to the
Yeah,
the bar, and then you'll move down. Honestly, they all just run to the dance floor and it's straight up for it straight away.
Amazing.
Class, like I like that. And you're doing the bouncy box as well.
Yeah.
So what's the thing behind that? Is it you and Ron back to back? Is that what
I'm
you're
not
doing?
too sure. I don't know if we're doing separate.
Oh, right.
But you want us to play, obviously, our EP tracks and whatever. But I don't know if we're going back to back.
Oh, it'd be interesting to see that. Definitely. I'd personally like to see you go back to back on the video, just see what the dynamic works like. Because I think there's only been single DJs on so far, hasn't there?
So I don't know if we're doing it separate. I'm not sure.
Obviously, you've got a mix coming out with Bouncy as well.
That 24
The
hour
24-hour one.
mix,
Get on that when it comes out. I don't know when it's coming out, but it will be at some point. There's some really like good DJs on it as well. Like
I seen that picture. I was like, really good DJs on there.
we were saying off camera, like got a message off Greenie saying we've got this. Not telling you what it's for, but can you do a mix for it? I was like, yeah, no worries. I got it in as soon as possible, as you did as well. And it hasn't come out yet, but it's like I couldn't figure out why did you need so many mixes? Because a couple of people were talking to me saying, "Have you doing one of these mixes?" I was like, "Yeah." So, do you know what it's for? I was like, nope, don't have a clue. Don't have a clue. But yeah, it's 24-hour mix. It's coming out. That will be your essential sesh CD after you've been to a night. If you end up running
24 hours.
yeah. What other stuff that is you've got to plug? You've got the Antidote and Flexing.
Yeah, so Antidote and Flexing on the 9th of December at Pure.
Yeah.
Wigan. So it'll be
Massive
really-
lineup as well. Like
huge.
massive lineup. I think, like I said to you off camera, I think with Flexing and Antidote, I think it's going to be this event could propel you up.
Yeah.
If this is a rammed out event, which I think it's going to be because there's a few people talking about it,
Yeah.
it could elevate you to like the next level.
Yeah,
I think, and I think
definitely.
it would put you in good stead for next year. Coming into next year, if you're doing 3 Antidote events next year, I think every one of them would banging off the
Yeah.
back of this one personally. So what's the plan for that night then? Are you doing your own set, or is it you back to back with
I'm
someone?
not
or-
too sure with that one either.
You don't
I'm
know?
not bothered either way.
It'll be fun
I
though.
will
won't
be
it?
fair on my own.
Do you like having like MCs and that on your set as well?
When there's no vocals, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause I just can't stand MCs that MC over vocals. You
Yeah.
just want to listen to it, you know.
Yeah, when a tune kicks
Turn it
in.
down sometimes. Or,
Yeah, I'll just turn it off and like what?
but I don't mind MCs.
Yeah. No, it's just out of curiosity because obviously with the style you play as well, I think I like working with MCs that I can trust. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like if I know they know the tunes, or we can signal to each other that right, just hold back a sec and then good to go for this
Yeah.
drop or whatever. So a few weeks ago I was on with Master C and he's like, honestly, he was fucking amazing. I'm not joking. Like his timing, he's like, he maybe didn't know the tune or what have you, but would just give each other the look of like, right, hold it up, like, and then when it was kicking in, the tune was kicking in, he was good to go. He was on fire.
Yeah.
He's so good.
I like the ones that do the lyrics and host at the same time, you know,
Yeah.
hype the crowd up.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that. And then obviously do lyric as well.
I think Easy's become really,
Yeah,
really
he's
good
really
at that.
good, yeah.
I've always said he's been lyrically fantastic
Mm.
forever, but his presence on stage nowadays is
Yeah.
phenomenal. Like in comparison to what it was like
back in
5
the
years
two,
ago.
isn't he? Like,
Yeah, he loves it. He loves getting involved. Is there anything else you need to plug before? Because I've got some questions to ask you as well.
there is a few, but we'll wait till next year. Can't really say.
Go on then. I've just got a question from the last
Okay.
guest, which was Bon Lee. He says, are you happy with what you've achieved? And if not, would you like to do it before you give it all up? If you ever give up, that is. And that's from Bon Lee.
What would I like to do before I give it all up?
Yeah, are you happy with what you have achieved?
I am, yeah, but I feel like I need to be more. There is a few places I'd like to, like my main one, everyone knows this, is Zombie Nation at
Right.
Bowlers. That's my goal, my dream, to do that stage.
Right.
And a big, massive festival as well. I'd love to do. I
Uh,
think Rome did one at, what was it, Rock the Park?
Rock the Park, yeah.
I'd love to do something like that.
Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent.
But yeah, I am happy with what I've achieved now, but I feel like I could just do a little bit more.
I think if you're
Maybe
always
with
hungry,
marketing
it just
side.
shows that you're still passionate about it. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
definitely.
If you went, I'm happy, there's nothing else I want to do, it's like, well, maybe you should just give it up. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you've achieved everything you've set out to do, then fair enough, that's it. But if you're always left hungry for more, it's like, you know for a fact you're always
Yeah.
going to get good results, if that makes sense.
And get me own tune out as well. My own.
Yeah. I've got a word association game to play with you, if that's all right.
Okay.
So I'm going to just say a couple of words, and then you just tell me the first thing that comes to your head. Is that all right?
Oh, okay.
So this is word association with DJ Angel. Right. Adrenaline.
Amazing.
Vinyl.
The best.
Rum.
I love my life.
Oh,
That's
that's
not one
cute.
word.
That's cute. That's cute. First gig.
3 bar.
A day oneer. So who is maybe somebody who supported you from day one, a friend or
Rome.
Rum? Excellent. And antidote.
Funny.
Hey, I'll take that. That's
Yeah,
good. That's
funny.
good. That is good. And I've got a couple more things to ask you as well. Do you have a pet peeve about the industry at all? So is there something that like maybe bothers you as a DJ? Maybe a negative that could be spun into a positive, I suppose.
MC over vocals.
MC no vocals. I'll take
Yeah.
that as an answer. That's great. What's one thing that gives you like great satisfaction then? So the opposite, essentially.
Just the crowd singing to you.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So on Bond's episode, I asked Bond that, and he said there's nothing more satisfying than when you pull the fader down and they sing back to you. That's the thing.
I love it.
Excellent.
Gives me goosebumps thinking about it. I love it, yeah.
I'm going to do some throwback attacks. So I'm going to read you a few phrases, and you just tell me what's the first thing that comes to your head. Is that all right?
Okay.
So this is throwback attack with DJ Angel. What song do you think of when you think back to primary school?
Probably Entrance Set You Free.
Excellent. What song do you think back when you think back to secondary school?
Eminem. I don't know what song though.
Just
Stan.
easy to stand that era. That's fair enough. What song do you think of when you think back to getting your first set of decks?
Don't Want to Be a Star.
Oh, class tune.
By,
Class
who
tune.
was it by?
Was it Corona? Was it? No, it wasn't Corona. No. It was. I can picture the
know.
vinyl. It's a white. It's white, red, and thing vinyl.
That's
now.
my favourite track. I can't remember it's by. Go on.
I'll put it in artwork on the thing. That's too many now. I can't remember. What song do you think of when you think to your first days of going out?
I don't know.
Don't
There's
know.
so many.
So many. Go on, one. Just think of one right now.
I don't know. When I first go out,
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll come back.
What song do you think of when you think back to your golden era? What would you call your golden era?
My golden era. I don't know again. Why's my mind gone blank? Usually don't go with these tracks. Sorry, guys. Can't think at the minute.
I'll let you off with it if you can't think of anything. But you need to answer this last one if I'm going to let you off with the last two. Is that all right?
Go on.
What's your karaoke song?
Gypsy Woman.
Oh, excellent. Nice choice.
Da-da-da.
It's because it's nice and easy. Yeah. Thanks for doing that. I appreciate it. I was going to make sure I was going to get a karaoke song out of you, because if you miss out two, you've got to definitely do the karaoke song. If you'd have missed three, I'd have made you sing your karaoke song to the camera. Yeah, I'm just going to tie today up if that's all right, mate.
No problem.
Is there anything else you would like to plug at all?
No, just what I plugged before.
Excellent.
There's a few things coming up next year, but
Yeah, it's not out, not public knowledge yet.
Yeah.
And we'll put that behind a Patreon wall, you see. Yeah, so I just want to say thanks for coming on. I'm just going to ask you to close before I close up, as I do with everyone. You're about to get the electric chair.
Oh, the electric chair.
Yeah, and what is your last meal? I need a starter,
That would
main, and
be
dessert.
right. Christmas dinner.
Lovely.
With all the meats.
Lovely.
Because it's big and yeah.
Lovely.
Christmas dinner.
If you had to pick one meat though, what would it be?
Beef.
Right, beef. Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. What you as a starter?
Do you know what I like? Patty on toast.
Okay, okay.
Onions, chutney.
Lovely. Nice. I like that. To be fair.
Caramelised onions, sorry.
And for dessert, what you having?
Sticky toffee pudding.
Excellent,
and
excellent. And to wash all that down, what drink are you having?
Cavassier and Coke.
Oh, what?
Cavassier brandy.
Oh, God. I don't even know what that is. But yeah.
Cavassier, but I can't be anything else.
Excellent, excellent. I just want to say thank you for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been fun. I hope you have all enjoyed it. It's been great. If you have enjoyed it, then please share it with your mates. Be sound. Let people hear Jen's story. And as I say, every week we're here and we're bringing new guests and stuff on, and it's always good to hear a story from a different perspective. So, like, I've never really interviewed anyone from Southport, and seeing how you came through is a bit of a, like, it just adds more to the overarching story of what bounce music is and what we're all about and how we all get into it, how we're all from different areas, but we all sort of end up on the same path, and I think it's great. If you have enjoyed it, then share it with your mates. If you've really enjoyed it and you want to support us, support the podcast, you can sign up at Patreon at patreon.com/itstimetoriffresh. I'm going to say I'll see you later.
Thank
Thank
you
you for coming on.
Thanks.
Yeah.